Oh wait, hold on, I need my matcha. All right, all's better. All right, hi guys, welcome back to What Fuels a Dancer. My name is Leah and I am a professional ballet dancer and a certified nutrition health coach. Today's video is going to be a little bit more casual and hopefully a little bit more fun. I'm going to be doing a Q&A from some questions that you guys submitted to me on my Instagram so you can get to know me a little bit better. This is also my last video for the year. I'm going to be taking some time off as a little bit of a vacation after I finish my current semester at school. But I have a lot of really fun and informative videos coming on this channel in 2021. So be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss those. And also give this video a thumbs up because it really supports me as well as the content I make on here. So if you want to know more about me and my experience with dance or nutrition, or just want to know a little bit more about me, make sure to keep on watching. All right. So how old are you and when did you start dancing? I am currently 27 years old and I have been dancing since I was 4. Obviously, that has been quite a huge part of my life. How long have you been dancing professionally? So after high school, I became a professional division student with the Pacific Northwest Ballet, where it's a basically like after high school training program that sets you up to hopefully get a job with a company after you complete it. So you are a part of the school, but you still get to dance and perform with the company. So I had the opportunity to perform with Pacific Northwest Ballet then. And then when I was 21, I started dancing for Grand Rapids Ballet, and that was my first company contract. And I have been dancing in companies or in productions ever since. Ooh, coffee or tea. So I feel like most dancers are coffee drinkers, and unfortunately that is not me. As you probably see, I drink a lot of matcha. Not only is that I just absolutely love the taste and the ritual of it. Caffeinated coffee is a little bit too strong for me. I have actually had an allergic reaction from caffeine from coffee. That was not fun. And it also just kind of hurts my stomach and makes me feel a little bit sick. So the only time I drink coffee is I will sometimes get a decaf oat milk latte when I'm at a coffee shop, but for the most part, I just stick to matcha and other types of tea. Like I love green tea and different types of herbal teas as well. What is your favorite thing to cook? This one is super difficult to answer because I feel like it changes over time and it changes depending on the season that we're in. So a few of my favorites are pesto pasta. I love making it, especially during the summer with fresh basil, and it's just, I just absolutely love pesto pasta. But right now I've been making a lot of really fun rice dishes. So I made a paella a few weeks ago, and what else? I made like a wild rice salad over Thanksgiving, and so just a really good grain salad with a little bit of like with veggies and nuts that make it like toasted nuts make it a little bit crunchy, and then maybe adding a sweet component like dried cranberries and adding some herbs and all that sort of stuff. It just tastes so good, and it also makes me feel good too because I'm getting complex carbohydrates and proteins and fat and so many different flavors. It's something that's really versatile, really easy to make, really accessible, and I have really been enjoying making those. Do you have any hobbies? Yes. I feel like not so much now just because I'm really busy, but I absolutely love to go outside. My husband and I, we love to hike, especially with our dog, and we love to travel. So almost all of our trips often involve us going hiking somewhere. Our wedding was actually in Yosemite National Park, which is where my husband is from. And so our honeymoon was camping and hiking inside of the park, which was a lot of fun. Yeah, I've just always loved being outside, and I've been very lucky to be able to travel to some really beautiful places in the US. What is your favorite ballet or favorite moment on stage? Ooh. Okay, so I have a few. There's so many. Okay, so when I was training with Pacific Northwest Ballet, and it was my first year there, and this was when the Stolz and Dr. Nutcracker was still being performed by them, and the first performance of Nutcracker that I did, I was a flower, and I absolutely love Nutcracker. I will never get sick of it. I love the music. I'm just one of those weird dancers who doesn't hate Nutcracker. So I just remember running on stage during that first performance and hearing the live music, and I had never danced to live music before, and it was just such a magical moment because it just sounded so much different than what we call canned music, and it just blew my mind, and it filled me with so much joy, and I was hooked ever since, really. Dancing to live music is really hard to beat. And then I have also been able to perform with my husband. That was kind of like my coming out of retirement performances. So after I finished with the Suzanne Farrell Ballet, I thought I was done dancing, and so I kind of let that be like my final performances. But then sure enough, a year later, I was dancing again. So we did Sugar Plum, and my husband was the Cavalier, and we danced for a local ballet studio in Indiana, and it was so much fun and such low pressure, and it just felt, I don't know, I felt like the quintessential ballerina. I had this beautiful tutu that I borrowed, and like this beautiful tiara, and I just felt like such a ballerina. And I have mostly done core roles throughout my life, and so it's so unique whenever I get to do any sort of soloist or principal roles, because it's just like all eyes are on you, and it's just this like weird but really awesome feeling. You feel like you have the control to like command the stage, and you're the one that's really carrying the story and the emotion behind the music. And so it's really cool to be able to then craft that and just be the one that carries the audience through the ballet. So that's just a really cool feeling. And then probably one of my all-time favorite memories. So when I had always wanted to learn and perform serenade. It's one of those quintessential Balanchine ballets where the music, the dancing, it's just so beautiful. And it was the ballet that had kind of evaded me for several years. I would always join a company right after they had done it, or right after I left a company, they would perform it. And I had learned a part of it at a summer intensive when I was 13 or 14, I would say, and it had just always been a ballet that I wanted to do. And so the final year of Suzanne Farrell Ballet, we performed Serenade among some other Balanchine ballets, and those moments were so special, because you start, like, if you know the ballet, everyone starts and you're all spaced apart and you're kind of in your own little world, and the music starts, the curtain's down, and the music kind of sounds muffled because the orchestra is, on the other side of the curtain. And we were in our last performances at the Kennedy Center Opera House, and, there's the dramatic, chord that the violins play, and then the curtain goes up and the music starts back up again and it starts to swell. And as the curtain goes up, it's like all of a sudden the music is clear, and then there's just this rush of wind from the curtain moving up, as well as, and it's just like all of a sudden the audience is invited into the stage, and it's such a magical moment, and it's so breathtaking. And it's right before you start this beautiful and really difficult but fun ballet, and it's to me, like, that was one of the most magical moments. I almost started crying almost every single performance during that moment, because it's just so beautiful, and it was also just like a dream come true for me to be able to perform in that ballet. I feel like that was a really long answer. Yeah, it's just really special. All right. Did you ever do anything besides dance growing up? Yes, a little bit. So, before I was dancing, all the time in middle school and high school, I tried a few things over the summers. I'm not really a hand-eye coordinated person, so any sort of sport I wasn't really great at, nor did I really like it. I kind of liked the more individual things because those felt like, I don't know, they suited my personality as well as like my ability. So I did tumbling and gymnastics and ice skating when I was younger, growing up during the summers. And then I did 1 year of track, and that was when I was in 6th grade, and that was all I ever did besides ballet. I also did, I played the piano growing up. I played classical piano for 6 years, I want to say, which I really wish I would have kept up with that, because I can't play anything now except for the beginning part of this one song. But that's like, 2 8 counts, basically. Who inspires me on YouTube? There's so many. But talking about non-dancers that I love to watch, one is Natasha Ocean and Stephanie Buttermore. They're both fitness as well as, I guess you could call them like fitness influencers, but I hate that word. But they both are well educated, and they like to bring a lot of research into their videos, which I really appreciate. They're both advocates for intuitive eating, which obviously I'm really into. And so they are a really great balance of taking care of your body and your mind without becoming overly restrictive. Hi. Yeah. Hey, buddy. He just wants all the attention right now. I mean, I don't blame him. All right, just got back from a walk. So also Abby Sharp from Abby's Kitchen. She is a registered dietitian and an intuitive eating advocate. So I love watching her videos, as well as Sadia from Pickup Limes. She's also a registered dietitian, and she's also an amazing plant-based cook. I love watching her recipe videos. And then Gaz Oakley of Avant-Garde Vegan. He just creates beautiful food. He's a professional chef, so he's professionally trained, and just watching what he makes out of food is really inspiring, and I love watching his videos and then trying to recreate some of them. All right, what is your Wow. What is your ultimate dream with your degree, and what kind of clients do you hope to work with? So for those of you who might not know, I am currently in a master's program to get my degree in human nutrition. As a health coach, I think the training was helpful for me, but I want to be able to do more in terms of my scope of practice and who I can work with and what kind of issues I can help with. So my ultimate dream when I finish my degree is to obviously get my degree and do the practical hours necessary so that I can take the test to become a certified nutrition specialist. This is also what's known as a clinical nutritionist. So it's similar to a registered dietitian. There are just a little bit different focuses and some different classes that we take and a different exam that we take. But that is my goal. Are you gonna go up there? What you doing? All right, so he's just gonna be right here. So yeah, hopefully when that happens, my dream is to work with ballet studios and ballet companies and dance companies in general on creating dancer wellness programs that articulate nutrition in a different way than I think what is often portrayed. I want to approach it with more of an intuitive eating mindset and helping dancers find what fuels their bodies the best and what can support them and their bodies in dance, and without this sort of like restriction mindset or really like controlling way that I think nutrition is often taught. And obviously I'd love to work with individual dancers, but more so my dream is to work directly with companies and dance teachers and directors on how what we teach dancers and students, how that affects their body. Because like change in the dance world, it has to start from changing the information and like what we tell and portray to dancers. So that is my ultimate goal. I'd love to do summer courses and like workshops with more dance studios and dance companies. There we go. Yeah. Can you chill? So my ultimate dream with that would be to be kind of like the resident nutritionist for ballet companies and schools, and be able to work with both the staff and the dancers on dancer wellness throughout the whole organization. Because I think as we are discovering, I mean, it sounds obvious, but like dancer health is really important to the overall health and well-being of your dancers. And if dancers are the lifeblood and the people that you put on stage, their health, not only physically, but also mentally and emotionally, is going to be really important for the overall, not only the success of the company, but the success of the dancers as individuals. So that is the wide scope of what I want to do. Obviously, I'd love to create online courses and a cookbook, and just, I have so many ideas because I want to be able to still create content that is accessible to everyone who either may or may not be a part of a certain ballet company or ballet school and who might not have access to this information, and who also might not be able to afford working with a dietitian or nutritionist one-on-one. So that is my ultimate goal. And it's something that I'm really passionate about, and I absolutely love what I'm doing and what I'm learning, even though there are times like right now where I'm procrastinating studying for 3 finals that I have in a few days. It's so cool to be able to learn everything that I'm learning and really be able to tie it back into the human body and how nutrition can affect our overall health and well-being. And then one final question. What are some compliments I can give to my friends and colleagues who dance that won't trigger disordered thoughts? This is a really great question, and it's definitely nuanced and it can change from individual to individual. I'm not a psychologist, so I can't blanket necessarily say definitely what can and can't. I can speak from my personal experience and some ideas that might be helpful. So for me personally, even good compliments about my physical body or shape can be triggering because it's kind of like a positive reinforcement, especially if I'm doing any sort of unhealthy habits or actions, whether through working out or what I'm eating. So even though positive comments about someone's body in terms of like the physical appearance might come from a positive place, it could trigger some disordered eating habits and behaviors involving that person's body because they don't want to lose those compliments, if that makes sense. That's what happened to me when I was growing up, and I know it probably has happened to other dancers. So when talking about complimenting other dancers, I like to focus on not only things about them as a person, so their personality, their character traits, who they are as a person, if they're kind, if they're caring, smart, determined, if they're a hard worker, if they're compassionate. I like to compliment on those things and compliment on someone's dancing in terms of their musicality and the way that they portray an emotion, or the way that they have a certain movement quality. So focusing more on the functionality of their body and, if they look strong while dancing, if they exude joy and confidence. I think that's really important to compliment rather than how thin someone is or whether or not you see their six-pack abs or whatever, because not every dancer is going to have those physical traits, because that's not what defines us as being a dancer. But of course, if you know this person really well and you guys are able to have a conversation about what could be potentially triggering to that person, I think that's also a really great conversation to have because every person is different. So with all that being said, I hope that you enjoyed a more laid back and fun video, and be sure again to subscribe down below so that you don't miss the videos coming in the new year. I hope you all have a great holiday season, and I will see you in the new year. Bye guys.